What up, everybody out there in podcast land? Thanks for tuning in yet again to another episode of Ken Ross Present the Get I Said It podcast. We're expressing on our full capabilities to my wonders and correctional facilities, brainchild of my child. I'm the dad half of this operation, Ross Cooper, coming to you live and in public, if you will. As always, I am rocking with the best. My co-host, please introduce yourself to the folks.
Yeah, well, a wise man can even see a peasant has a king in him. Yeah, everybody's having a good day, month, year, hour, second, all that good stuff. You watching all the platforms. Please share with your friends, family, enemies, bug on the wall, pets, aliens outside, the mailman, the garbage man, the assassin that's not coming after you, all that good stuff. And if you watching on the tube, please like, share, comment, subscribe, because if you don't, the assassin might get your ass. So yeah.
That's how we set it off. This how we coming into our last few shows of the year, and this what we doing. We talking.
It fits what we gonna talk about.
I mean, yeah, let's just get right into it. As everyone who watches the shows and knows me personally knows, I have an affinity for the what glorious Empire State, particularly the world's greatest city, even though that is not home for me per se. Um, so this is wild. This is wild. We One, I apologize to the listeners and the fans. Took us a couple extra days, but we are truly quality over quantity here. And when we went to have this show on our normal day of Tuesday, things were dry, right? And we could have been sitting here yakking a yak, but we do actually like to yak, quote unquote, with a point. Well, 48 hours later, things are not dry, so to speak. And this is wild. And I'll admit, I'm a little bit conflicted. We're starting in the world's greatest city, and CEO of United Healthcare was pretty much, I hate to use the word assassinated. I kind of reserve that word for a Malcolm, a Martin, a Fred Hampton, something like that. When I hear assassination, I think this was, somebody. Well, I guess it is, for all intents and purposes, an assassination. This guy, it looks like he was targeted. This is something right out of. I'm waiting for someone to put up a bat signal because this is something right out of Gotham City, and, and they could definitely use some Batman prep time. What am I talking about? The CEO of United Healthcare was blasted on the steps of the building. There were words found written on the shell casings. In one of the biggest cases of you can't be serious, read the room, United Healthcare also initially announced that they were not going to cover anesthesia for the entire length of certain procedures. I believe I've seen they have since walked that back. Talk about if being insensitive was a group of people.
Mm.
Here's my conflict. It is my honest conflict. And if you're not gonna like me because of it, that's okay. Um, I don't celebrate the loss of any life. I do believe, however, we are in a very precarious place in the history of the world where, as if we were to spread, as I've said on this show numerous times, peak humanity, there are some people preventing that.
Mm.
There are some people preventing that. Now, the problem we have here is this is like Hydra. You cut off one head, three appear. Um, it looks like, at least on the surface, it looks like this was a target attack. There were words found on the shell casings. Um, in the US, anyway, health care is a misnomer. It is health for profit. It's not health care, right? But again, not celebrating loss of life. And the bigger thing is, look, just like Hydra in Marvel, you cut off one head, three more appear. I hate that, you got whoever did this, and this is broad daylight, by the way. This is what we call a walk by in the hood. This ain't even a drive by. This is a walk by, a ride by. Bro's on a bike, bought protein bars and water. So clearly, He was concerned about hydration and macros. Um, I'm not trying to make light of it, but my suspicion, at least on the surface, is there were some decisions made that did not go a certain person's way. And I believe, this is my initial belief, it's one of two things. It's exactly as it looks like, and this guy was targeted, but from a disgruntled person who might have lost a family member due to a decision made from this insurance company, this health care company, or it's been made to look like this and there's something else underneath the surface. I don't actually know. That's way beyond me. The only thing that comes to mind immediately for anyone that remembers the movie 2012, there were a few people who knew what was coming. And a few of those people tried to get that word out to the media, and governments saw to it that they didn't get that word out, if you follow what I'm saying. So I'd be checking stock prices. I'd be checking who's next in line to replace this guy, because that's what I said. Um, United Health is not going to crumble. They just, CEO's gone. You got somebody else to step in those shoes. CEOs get replaced every day. They be all right. They tough, right?
Paid replaced billions.
So yeah, because if he hadn't got blasted and just retired tomorrow, hell, not even retired, got fired tomorrow for whatever reason, there'd be somebody step right in his place and he'd walk away with what's called a golden parachute, lots of stock options, and like here's a few hundred million to go away. I'd like to get fired with a few hundred million, but I'm not a CEO. So on the surface, at the top level, bottom line is this was a married person. I do not celebrate the loss of life, especially when it's useless, because honestly, look, if this guy stood in between what we have and a new frontier, I am not justifying what has happened, but it's changed the scope of the conversation. But the fact that this guy is no longer here, it doesn't change anything. It doesn't kick off the revolution. It doesn't be the first step in black liberation. Like it. So as I'm like, given all of that, it definitely appears to be targeted, and sucks to be him. And thoughts and prayers to his family. But you are the head of a medical monster, and that's got to come with inherent risks. And based on the article that I've been taking a peek at before we got on, looks like he'd been receiving threats all the time. And I'm like, I don't know. Just maybe I'm oversimplifying it, but when grandma needs a knee replacement, maybe we can find a way to get a knee replacement done without having grandma empty her savings. Radical thought there.
Whoa, think
Just
about that.
just radical thought. Maybe someone who needs insulin, that's finally been addressed, but until recently, someone needs insulin and doesn't have coverage or what have you, doesn't need to pay money they don't have to get it. Like literal life-saving drugs. Like bottom line is the healthcare system in the US is for profit, not for health. So that's why it's kind of a misnomer to say health care. But I'm still on the fence on which way this is. Definitely a targeted attack. Is it really what we think it is? Is it just one disgruntled person getting what looks like to be revenge? Or is this something more than that? Your thoughts, sir. What do you think here? Based on the facts as we know them, what do you think?
Definitely target. I agree with you there. They seem probably more like an inside job than just a random thing. Because how many average people know who the CEO is and where he's going to be? That's what I'm saying. Unless it's a really real disgruntled, like John Wick type somebody, like his dog, or like you said, grandma died, and then United didn't help him. So he's like, you know what? Vengeance. I'm going to find you and I will get you. Liam Neeson voice. But yeah,
No,
like,
see, I was thinking
take,
Robert Pattinson's Batman. I'm vengeance. But yeah,
I mean, that too, man. That's it. We on that phone call, it's like, I will find you and I will get you. But yeah, seemed like it was an inside job. Somebody hired him. This is like, I know I was joking when I said we're going back in time, but we really going back in time. We got presidents almost getting capped. We got broad daylight assassinations from CEOs and people. Like, this is mafia style shit. Is the mob back? Is Mr. Soprano out there somewhere? Salute. But nah, this is it's crazy. Like, I would feel bad, but I don't. So yeah, I'm probably one of those disgruntled customers because I had them. But
You
nah,
you have loss of life, sir. You got to feel bad about that.
they don't care about your loss of life, so why should we care about this?
Okay, so I promise you all, I really raised him to be a compassionate human being.
I'm
I really
compassionate
did.
with people who's compassionate with me. Like I said, there's two things I don't have no empathy for, no matter what happens. Things that could have been avoided and just fucking evil, greedy motherfuckers, which is basically people who rule over and control the system. Like those two things, I don't care what happens. I won't
See,
feel nothing. I'll probably eat some popcorn. But or things that can be avoided. Like you put your hand in a lion's cage and he just takes your hand off. I'm gonna laugh at you. I'm sorry. That could have been avoided. You didn't have to do it. You didn't have to do that. And there's an actual video of that happened. I was laughing my ass off. Those are the two things I have zero empathy for. I won't feel a thing. Everything else, I will. But this, because some greedy CEO, whatever, because got capped, and it's probably one of his own people, most likely.
it's okay. 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 Hold on. This is God. I hate when you do this because now I gotta play. I gotta sit on the other side of the fence. It's not as if the decisions on if grandma gets her knee comes across his desk. That's not how that goes. He's the CEO. It's not, those decisions don't come across his desk. They're way lower than that. Way lower than that.
Okay.
Like, and now you have a wife with no husband and kids with no dad because some officially someone is mad at a corrupt, broken system.
Right.
And killing this person didn't do anything to change the system.
That, okay, sometimes, I'm not saying I disagree with that. They didn't change the system. Yeah, it did. Sometimes, like, let's just say a fight. You fight someone in a room full of people that have issues with you, but you fight one person. But you don't just fight. You fight extra hard, not just because you want to beat him, but if you beat him bad enough, you pretty much win all fights you ever fight. You might not ever fight again because I sent the message that if you try me, this is what will happen to you. So I'm not saying that, I mean, well, they left a message, so clearly they were trying to send a message. But yeah, maybe
I got
that's the thing. It's not like you said, stuff ain't gonna change overnight. So him getting off is not gonna change the system. I agree. But what if it's a catalyst like now we everyone starts looking up who CEOs is of certain companies and where they reside. Now it's
I tell
like,
you,
okay, I'm a little nervous now because if I fuck up or you do people dirty, you already are, but you're doing more dirty now because we're already at a boiling point and the bloodbath is starting to overflow. Yeah, now I'm just gonna look it up because you can definitely look up who CEOs are. That's public knowledge.
okay.
So now it's the president's like, oh, I might have to walk around with security. Oh, I might have to develop a little bit of a conscience. Maybe. Oh, I can't just walk around freely. I'm not untouchable after all. Oh.
No,
Now, granted, everything I can say can go out the window if it was all assassination attempt from in-house because they disagree in the ballroom or some shit, which is probably what happened. But still, that can still spread fear. And fear, sometimes, even though I hate it, can be a useful tool. Okay.
wow, we got our second Batman quote in what, 5 minutes? Fear is a tool. Okay. The best part about that entire movie, the Batman, was probably that first 10 minutes when we first get introduced. But anywho, um, I have one name for you because I think, and if I know you, you're probably gonna disagree, but what you're describing is Derek Chauvin. That's what you're describing. And I wish it were the case. Because when Derek Chauvin decided to take a knee on George Floyd's neck and got sent away for a long, long time, that sends a message to the rest of the boys in blue.
But it didn't.
Right? The problem is in this particular instance, there's no message being sent. See, Derek Chauvin is a real person who represents other real people within that system. It's not the system, it's the people within that system. Because on the surface, law enforcement isn't bad. The people who are law enforcement are shit, right? So when they see, hey, I can no longer do these things, it changes behavior,
It didn't.
right?
This is where that point becomes irrelevant because it didn't. So where are we going with this?
What I'm going with it is Derek Chauvin going to jail sends shockwaves to say, oh shit, we might want to start doing things a little differently here because that could be me, right? Whereas sadly, this CEO's assassination, Hydra, cut off one head, three more emerge.
Yeah, but who wants to get off? It's one thing to possibly go to jail and you still might get off, which they still do, and they're still doing the same shit. Trust me, we've had plenty of shows discuss it and plenty of shows where we didn't talk about it, where we could have, because it's getting fucking numbing, which is not good. That's climate. But yeah, what was I going? I forgot my damn point. Um, nah, I completely disagree. I don't. It's not. It's not what you say it is. I think it's now. It's one thing to possibly go to jail versus actually getting capped. Now, that's a different type of fear. Like you're a cop, you do something there, chances are your whole precinct is in on it, and you're highly protected still. Like the Derek Chauvin thing did not um relieve some of their power or their protection. It didn't. They still have the same power. They still have the same protection, which is still way too fucking much. So, and we still see videos of cops saying, I am the law, right after that, recently. So yeah, the mentality has not changed because the power dynamic hasn't changed. If the power dynamic changes, then I'm with you. But it hasn't. If anything, they're about to get more power.
That's a
So
possibility with the incoming administration. That is a possibility.
that's what I'm saying. Like, I get what you're trying to say, but that point is irrelevant because we both know that's not true. But the CEO thing, I'm not saying it is true or not, because like I said, I think it's more in-house than just a random citizen just angry.
So you think there might be motive behind this?
Yeah. Hell yeah. Broad daylight, and you know exactly where he was and who he was. Does
I
that
mean,
sound
but
like
that's the,
something an amateur, someone mad would do? I'm not saying
no. This sounds like
no.
I mean, hypothetically, going with that possibility. What if we're in December? Grandma might have died back in March.
Okay.
This took planning. This took research. This took planning. And let's be all the way funky with it. Most people of a certain income bracket believe they're completely untouchable and can't be found anyway.
That's
So
true.
I'm sure this took a little bit of time and a little bit of planning, but a regular person with a gun and determination can get it done. I,
Mm,
could
it disappear
somebody,
like that?
I mean, could somebody in the company that wanted this seat put a battery in somebody's back? Sure.
That would be proving my point that someone on the inside put out the hit. So that would probably be more likely. It would kind of be more raw if it was just a regular citizen and we on some V for Vendetta type shit. But other than that, if he had a mask on, that'd have been so hard. But I'm sorry, we don't condone this stuff sometimes. But yeah,
Well,
I
yeah.
I yeah, I definitely think it was an inside job more likely because they know who he was. They know who he was. Got him in broad daylight. No one sees a thing, and he just disappears on a bike
On a bike. And
on broad
actually,
daylight in New York City.
That's a lot. If you've been in New York, though, that's a lot easier than most people would think. Like that is the logistical issue of why you can't have the Olympics there. I'm shocked they had the Super Bowl there. Depending on where you're at in New York City, it is a logistical nightmare. Class example: if what my medical event had have happened in the boroughs as opposed to where I was, it might have been a 20-minute wait time for them for EMTs just to arrive. Like you, it's a city of 8.5 million designed for probably half that. Yes, people can just walk and disappear just like that. Um, or NYPD is ridiculously incompetent. Maybe, as you say, two things can be true. Because
That's
I'm
probably the last one.
this cat bought protein bars and waters and walked up, did the walk by the ride by broad daylight.
Y'all got all that money. Can't find someone who murdered a CEO. One of
$1 billion.
one of the elite. It's not like someone a regular smuggler got murdered. They got murked. This is elite that got murked in broad daylight, and no one can find him. I
And
get
if there and you ain't close. The one thing about New York though is you ain't close to nothing. Like worst case, if you are in my home city of Buffalo and you do something, something wild out, you are 30 minutes away from the Canadian border. You can dip out. Now,
well,
Canada is an extradition country,
I'm about to
so
say they won't extradite
you,
you.
you,
So don't go to Canada if you do some shit.
depends on what you did. Don't do this though, but and of course, if you in Brownsville, Texas, you are right at the Mexican border.
Pretty sure they will too.
I'm not sure Mexico is an extradition country, especially now this goofball back in office. Uh,
Oh, they will. But
but yeah, it's 8.5 million people. It's cats sitting in BK right now with warrants, and until they do something, ain't like NYPD's out there combing the streets looking for them.
oh, really? All that money? What we doing? We have an assassinator. I said assassinator. An assassin on the loose. We can't find him? All that money in your budget, huh? Oh, okay.
And
Sound like
this is why
now where's Robo-Dog at? I seen them shits. Where they at? They couldn't sniff them out? Nothing? Yeah, yeah, I prove every day that why giving them bigger budget is a waste of fucking money. Good.
the glorious Empire State, boy. And like I said, people misunderstand me when I say that. The glorious Empire State is representative of everything wrong and everything right, all in the same spot, but a lot of shit wrong. A lot of shit wrong.
I say, where's the right? There
I
is
mean,
about that city.
um, you without going too far off track, just a couple points right on top. You do have the most expansive mass transit system on the planet. That city literally never sleeps at all. 3 a.m. is no different than 3 p.m. Every culture, everything is there. Good, bad, or different. Everything is there. There's very little you can't experience or touch.
If you want to name the culture, yes, that's great. But it's all sitting on top of each other. It's just one massive snowball, right?
Right.
And angry and right.
But totally
So
depends. Totally depends. I mean, most of the New Yorkers I've come across are some cool people.
it's
So totally depends.
city. Too expensive, too boxed in, everyone on top of each other. I mean, they mastered the art of mind your business, but it's probably gotten too bad because now anybody can do anything now. So yeah,
And yet there's Central Park, there's Rockefeller Plaza,
there's some great monuments.
there's the birthplace of hip hop, there is the culture there that yeah, I can go on. I can go on. But
Yeah,
ah,
but go ahead.
we're gonna hop on 95 South though. We're gonna hop on 95 South, leave the world's greatest city, and go about I think it's about 4.5, 5 hours, depending on how you drive and time of day you leave in DC.
Hmm.
So this was kind of weird. This was kind of weird. Um, President, lame duck president on his way out the door, Joe Biden, has decided to pardon his son, pretty much, well,
Everything.
everything. One of the powers you get as president is pardon power, right? I've heard a couple things about this. Now, I'll be honest. Obviously, you know our connection. Um, I'll be honest. I don't know what I would do because
You're not gonna pardon me? All right.
if you out here doing fuck shit, like how am I gonna let as a dad, if you out here doing obvious fuck shit, come on, dog. Come on, dog. But then on the flip, as the president of the free world, I,
Learn from my mistakes.
nothing learns from a mistake like, I don't know, a couple months in jail.
Oh, so now you pro prison.
No, because you be, bro, it ain't like you going to Rikers. Like, you're, as the son of a president, it ain't like you going to Rikers. You going to some little puzzle factory, probably like where Martha Stewart went.
Oh,
Like, let's be real.
he was charged with? I don't know about that one.
I mean, so, God, it is a tough one because I need you to learn a lesson, but we can talk about it on a jet somewhere.
Nope. You're not mad at him then. That's what it sounds like.
Right, right. Look, don't do that shit no more, bro.
Of course. What's the island we going to?
Like, listen, when we get over there, while you getting your balls massaged, don't do that shit no more, yo. Okay. Yeah.
You just said
Once
back
we
massage. You just had to go there, huh?
once we touch down in Bali or whatever foreign place, don't do that shit no more. I can't save you now. I'm not the president. So let's be clear. Would you, if you was on some goofy shit, would you expect a pardon?
Not for the stuff he did. I'm not gonna do that. But hey, if I just say, not say I'm going to, mysteriously,
Yeah, because I'm not the president,
building
so I can't pardon you, bro.
some mysteriously, I'm not doing this at all. Some building, with some certain shield on it just blows up. Hey, if I don't get a pardon, I see you. Now doing the shit that he did have there, you pardon me, you just as bad as him. He need
Aren't they always?
yeah. Now if I'm doing some revolutionary shit, then you don't pardon me. All right, that's different. Now if I'm charged the same shit, same stuff that he was doing, don't pardon me. I wouldn't even want it.
I mean, it is a conundrum, but ultimately, listen, this is nepotism at its highest. There's the moral aspect to this, where you actually, as a parent, have to weigh out, is the lesson being learned? But then there's the very real way the world runs. And the way the world runs is nepotism. It is how Donald got his daughter sitting in on G7 meetings. It is how Donald Trump got his money to start off from his dad. All of this, everything is nepotism. It is. Does Bronny make the NBA if his father isn't his
No,
father? It's arguable. You
no, it's,
don't know.
it's not. No, he doesn't. I'm sorry. He doesn't.
But that is how things run. You put your family on. You put your people on, or you apparently excuse certain things on your way out the door since you got the power to do so. I'm gonna admit I have not done a deep dive on the goofiness that Hunter Biden has committed. I've heard a lot of things, most of them ugly.
It's ugly.
But if your dad's the president and on his way out the door, see, I think this goes a lot different. Just hypothetically speaking, if if Kamala never happened, he was actually still running for president. Actually, no. Because he's on his way out the door, he can pull us off. So, like I said, we can be moral on the flight to Bali. You know, I'll wag my finger at you and tell you that was not really cool, sir. On our private jet. Why not? Because and this is a pardon that is real public, but let's not make any mistakes. If this is what you got caught for, what have you done that we don't already know about? What have you done that's been swept under the rug? It's like athletes, you know. If you the starting quarterback at a Georgia, at a Alabama, at a Florida State, some of these major programs, when you've had one too many, when you smacked your girlfriend, how many cops look the other way?
That
And that's true. Shouldn't happen. Should absolutely shouldn't happen.
what is going to.
And heck, I'd make a case it's probably worse now because now that these kids are actually getting paid, they are actual commodities. In the same way, if Dak Prescott was at the strip club acting an ass, we'll never know about it.
I don't know about that. The thing is, everyone has phones. Like back then, yeah, but everyone has phones now, and you just get posted, and no one can control that. So, yeah, you'll get out.
If no one,
Everything gets out. Just about.
no. I tell because in a situation like that, I'll tell you why. What footage have you ever seen in a strip club? Like that still ain't all over the place. We see a little
Oh,
more
John
now.
Moran in the strip club.
What'd you say?
What? We saw John Moran in the strip club when he was flashing the gun and all that. Remember that?
That was his goofy ass recording himself, wasn't it?
No, that was the security flash, I think.
Oh, okay. Because I'm like, no, his goofy ass.
TMZ gets their hands on every. We shouldn't have saw Draymond smack punching his own teammate. But someone leaked that. That was in practice.
I'm sorry.
Like we shouldn't have saw that. We read the report, but we shouldn't have saw that video. Someone in the organization clearly leaked that shit.
I'm sorry, Jordan Poole. That's how we think it would go if Kendrick ran and Drake for real. But
But who gets
that's when what'd you say?
who getting snuffed?
You know getting snuffed. BBL Drizzy.
Oh, I thought you made it
You
seem
know
like
getting slept.
what? I'm sorry, go ahead. But no,
It's not supposed to be funny, but that when you run off in the mouth to the OG and then you get slept.
we shouldn't have saw
But
the footage. It was one thing to read it. It's a whole nother thing to see it.
now I didn't think now I still we talked about this on the show when it happened. You're not supposed to sleep your teammate, yo. You do not sleep your teammate, dog. Like, come on, guys.
It never gets released, but that one did. Like I said,
I
I
don't
want to see the Kobe and Shaq fight, and they said they really fought. I'd love to see that, but nah.
wow, that's Kobe really was fearless. My gosh. Okay.
That's where the respect came from. That was before it got bad in '04. But yeah, that's where respect came from. Everyone was scared of Shaq. Kobe wasn't, and they squabbled.
which is wild. Like, dog, you 6'6" and a couple hundred. Bro is 7'1" and 300 and change. Damn, are you suicidal? Like, are you not really? Wow,
And mama, you wasn't scared.
clearly not. All right, bone crusher, you end up scared. But
You scared.
I just the sad reality of it is, look, no way I'm letting you sit there. Yes, I'm going to pardon. The only issue I have, I guess, with the pardon per se is
Hmm.
it's future dated. Like, it's not just wiping out the stuff that's been done. I think it's until he leaves office, which isn't until January. So basically, it's a blank check to do more goofy shit between now and then.
That's what the biggest thing was the L is all the victims. They pretty much gotta watch this dude get basically scot free for all the shit he did.
Uh-huh. Totally.
So
Totally.
at that point, it's like, damn, I was like, we finally got him, and now he just gets to walk.
Yeah. Essentially, yes. Welcome to nepotism.
Why it should be fucking abolished. But, you know,
I mean, you
it's a bad thing. There's no way to spin it to make it a good thing. I'm sorry, it's not. Because usually when it happens, it's usually with people who's unqualified. The only way I can see it was cool for the quote unquote nepotism is if two candidates or whatever were close. They were neck and neck, and your family or whoever is actually qualified to do whatever the thing you want them to do, and it's neck and neck, then you give, your people's the edge. All right, cool. I'm good with that. That's not how it works. It's usually unqualified motherfuckers that are just wiping out the qualified people. Like this, he should not be the shit that he did. I don't remember every detail, but I remember the broad of some of the shit he did because there's pictures and photos of the shit. He should not be walking. But Daddy's president, so yeah,
I mean,
get a free fucking pass until January. So he can just
well,
start walking. He can just start. Oh, he can go crazy for the last couple months.
yeah, I was about to say, like, I'm just gonna start walking and smacking people on GP. Ah, what you gonna do?
Wait, does murder still count as a part too?
I, hopefully, we don't have to find out. I think, in theory, you're the president. Yeah. If the think about it, if the president can give pardons and commute death sentences, yeah.
Yeah. Everybody strap up.
So pretty much anyone that has pissed me off between now and January
Pretty
20th
much.
might be on alert.
Yeah,
You might
everybody
want
look
to
at
be on
the
alert.
strap. Windy voice. Get the strap.
You might
He got
want to
a
be on
purge for a month.
alert.
What the? He got a purge for a month. Can you imagine you give somebody that type of free pass a
I
month?
mean, I ain't got no beef with nobody, but I'm
I
not gonna
mean,
murk. I'm not gonna murk nobody, but there's definitely gonna be people getting smacked for sure.
agreed. I'm smacking the shit out of a lot of people.
There's definitely a couple people. Ah, take that with you.
Might be one just because.
Right. I'm gonna run up on you at the coming out to Trader Joe's too. Like, hey, remember that shit you were talking? Ah, take that with you.
Hey, then you cut me off. Ah.
Yeah,
I'm
you just
gonna
gave
slap
me a
some
blank
motherfuckers.
check between now, but basically a month. Oh yeah, it's if I ever had beef with you ever, I'm going back to the old basketball courts. I'm smacking them too.
Don't get shot. Just because you card don't mean you bulletproof, my boy. But yeah, uh, all
I'm
jokes
gonna
aside, I'm sorry for all the victims because the system will always fail you, and that's a tough pill to swallow, but it's the truth.
I mean, I guess on a serious tip here, though. So you pardon your son, but it's still people sitting in prison for weed charges. You pardon your son,
Mm,
but we just saw an innocent man, what appeared to be an innocent man, get executed not so long ago.
mm,
You couldn't pardon that, though.
nope.
And that's where this becomes problematic.
Hmm.
Like, I get it, to the victor go to spoils and all of that, and that's part of your presidential power. Um, I guess it don't matter because the obvious thing is the look of impropriety, but what does it matter? You 80 years old, about to go right off into the sunset.
You might not even remember you did it. So yeah.
You stupid, yo.
So, so he good. He got a clean mind, like probably literally. A clean mind. Uh,
Yeah. All right. So we're leaving DC. We're boarding a plane and we're going overseas to China. I just, so I'm going to say what I've said numerous times on this show, and it bears repeating, and I'll tell you why. Growing up in the 80s, we were pretty much either deliberately or kind of in code, as I told you numerous times, given the belief in white superiority, right? White folks can do anything, they're the greatest, blah, 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 blah. Okay. The problem is, on a large scale, that was a microcosm of um, feeding us American superiority. And we all know American superiority is some bullshit, right? So old Donnie Boy has been popping off at the mouth and he, being booty buddies with Elon Musk. And there's no show. We're gonna start charging tariffs on everything, da 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 da. We're gonna make America great again. These other countries then got smart. One in particular being China. And this is back when he was back in office before, when he was popping off at all that tough Tony talk. And China was like, yeah, okay, sure. So Donnie Boy is starting to talk about banning certain imports, certain companies, I mean, certain countries, and blah, blah, blah. Cool. What has China done? So China, as of Tuesday, and I'm getting this right off the AP, banning exports to the United States of gallium, germanium, antimony, and other key high-tech materials with potential military applications. As a general principle, lashing back at U.S. limits on semiconductor-related exports. See, unlike Russia and some other countries, China pretty much has most of the planet in some form or another by the cojones because a lot of cheap shit comes from, you read the back, you read the tag in your underwear, it's probably going to say made in China. You look at your phone, it's probably going to say made in China. Like, China really, in a certain extent, gets to laugh at anybody who wants to smoke. Because my suspicion is the list of countries that don't get some products from China, about that big.
hey, that's not
So,
that too.
so it is the literal country to country case of watch your tone when you're talking to me.
Yeah.
Literal case of you might want to watch your voice when you're talking to me, dog. Because yeah, this oh, it's just what where I was going with that initial piece is it's just not smart. You don't have the ability to give China the finger. And you don't want to pay American workers as much as you want to sell people on that goofy shit. Products made in China might be, I don't know, just throw out a number, $1 an hour. You know what you're going to pay an American worker to do the exact same thing? Way more than $1 an hour. You're going to pay at least 7 times that because the national minimum wage is $7 an hour.
We still ain't shit. We go ahead.
Not at all. But that's 7 times more than what you've been paying, right?
Mhm.
So how are we going to... I am happy that I'm in a place, and I by no means am I saying I have immunity, but I am happy that I'm in a place in my life where I am not dependent upon stuff. I have enough stuff. Problem's gonna be, well, what exactly else does this affect? But I got enough clothes, I got enough shoes. I understand that puts me in a very privileged position in this country. Like if you got it, like most people in America don't realize this. If you got 2 weeks worth of clothes, you're fucking lucky. You're very lucky. If you have furniture and a television and a working refrigerator and running water and plumbing, you're very lucky. But folks here tend to forget that. So And you when you sent it to me, you had a very good point. We gonna U.S. is gonna learn. You ain't the bully in the block no more. U.S. is gonna learn. These other countries are gonna be like, you know what? We got something for that ass.
They already doing that. When China is working with Russia and North Korea is working, they already trying to form a way to get rid of the US dollar. And once that happens, the real stronghold is over because we can't print our own money anymore.
I mean, you can print it all you want. It's worth toilet paper at that point.
I mean, at that point, it was worthless. What's the point? So yeah,
Yeah, it's pretty much, Scott tissue paper at that juncture.
we're pretty much in another Cold War, silently kept. We're in a Cold War part two.
Just if picking the wrong side was a person or a country, ah, damn, yo. So you on two sides, you gonna ride with Israel. Bad choice.
They have no choice.
Choice.
They don't have a choice for it.
And you gonna ride with Ukraine. Also bad choice. Like
They have a choice,
you
but
get to the level of problems that get solved if you stop riding with the wrong mofos. Like, ah, damn.
yeah. Well, Israel, they definitely care, and we all know why. Ukraine, they probably could, but that's more selfish interest because they're trying to put a base right there. So yeah,
To be fair, there's no evidence of that, but given history,
you think if they join NATO tomorrow, there will not be ships and shit ready to be gone there at this moment? You think we gave you all that money just so I could win for just cause? No.
technically,
No, so
yes.
we can come there and watch.
It is to prevent the eastward expansion of Russia. That's the official story.
Okay, sure. Russia had, I mean, I guess it does depend on who you believe, but Russia had no intent of fighting them until they decided to join NATO because they knew what will happen if they join NATO. So
Like,
if you can stay by, I won't come after you. Just don't make that decision. Don't take the blue pill. Take the red pill. Take the red pill. I got no smoke with you because now you aligning with my enemies. That makes you an enemy.
the friend of my enemy is my
That's
enemy.
Russian group. If that part of what this state reports on Russia is true, then I kind of agree. Now, it might not be because it's Russia, and then we also can't believe us because we're not the good guys. So I don't know what the hell. Either way, as long as no one touches the red button, I'm good.
Yeah. So
Touch
it
that.
looks like gallium and germanium are used in everything from batteries to weapon systems. These minerals are considered national security. I understand why. China is a major producer of antimony, which is used in flame retardants, batteries, night vision goggles, and nuclear weapon protection. That may not be a huge deal considering this country is sitting on one of the biggest stockpiles of nuclear weapons. Don't necessarily think you need to make more. Think probably got enough. Probably got enough.
Nah, we need a bigger bomb.
I just, I,
Every
because
yes,
I'm thinking about it like, oh my goodness, some of these things are using weapon systems. Da, da, da. Then it hit me. Wait a minute. The Pentagon has a how many $1 billion budget as is? Even if they never made another missile again, there's enough here to nuke the world, I think, a few times over.
yeah.
I just, but yes, other countries are coming together. Avengers assemble, and it's looking real Thanos like over here.
And we thank them.
Pretty much.
The Infinity stones are starting to disappear, boy. Yeah.
And you got you got old Trumpy boy talking about you could not live with your own failure. Look what that brought you. Like, nah, they're not. Mm-mm, mm-mm.
Oh,
This is
they going
not
for the
gonna
head.
go the way you think.
They are going for the head. They are not playing.
And This is not.
Not getting in the chest, you're not getting the leg, you can hit your head is clean. Mr. Clean,
Yeah,
Mr. Clean. Oh, yeah.
this is bad. I mean, it's just. Oh boy, it's just so interesting because, like I said, the world I grew up in is so much different than the world you grew up in, and I grew up in the '80s. Like running it back, looking back to it, we all didn't understand at the time. GI Joe, as much as I love the cartoon, was pretty much U.S. military propaganda on steroids. And the '80s Reaganomics, it might have been the height of American exceptionalism, and I always harken back to that on the show because it's important to understand, like people of a certain age were raised a certain way, and it's weird to sit when your eyes are open when you take the red pill and you see the way you've been programmed. It is interesting to dissect all this shit and understand just like your man said, the trader. Man, what a mind job! What an absolute mind job! But here we are, and we're watching old white men from a time that should have long since been gone shape the world and show that they are an imminent threat. Because some pop off, let's be real, Trump's kids ain't going nowhere. Elon ain't doing nothing. He ain't even from here. That's that's the wild part. But okay, here we are. So this one is interesting. I'm going to get your idea of what you think might happen. So we're leaving China and hopping on a flight to Toronto, or at least in July. I think in July we are. Kendrick has determined there's going to be pretty much a huge tour coming up. One of those stops is in Toronto. I think it's in I'm pretty sure it's in June or July. Kendrick is enjoying probably one of the greatest runs in rap commercial history between the streams, between everything else. One of the biggest runs, the greatest runs in recent memory. They done the impossible and turned a diss record into a hit. Never seen that before.
Uh,
Never seen it.
they were back to back.
So I'm like, wow. Um, what do you think? It is what percent of you? What's your percentage for something crazy happening at this Toronto show?
None.
You said none.
None. It would be more a higher percentage if Drake went to LA.
Ah.
And I have history to back them claims up. So yeah, if Drake was going to LA, that would be I would give it 50-50 some at. Not saying he won't walk out, but some gonna have. But him going to Toronto, who said it? Was it I got more fans in your old city or something? I don't know. But somebody said, hey, I don't know.
Listen,
You doing those
um,
like you lost a lot of your own fans because of that shit. Only
Toronto, like I said, I just went to Toronto a couple months ago. Um, and even before then, because of my proximity to it, I've been in Toronto a couple of times. At one of the first things I noticed is how amazingly safe I felt.
try to
I
stop.
mean, but again, let's get out of rap world goofiness. You're supposed to go to a city and feel safe. You're supposed to go somewhere and like, wow, if I can really live here. This feels nice.
Yeah, but we all know it's not true. So, but yeah, hey, he'd be all right. I mean, something could happen, but I doubt it.
Okay, so I think it'll be. I think. Oh, okay, put it like this. I think it's in proportion to. Is this cat? And I'm like, it's Kung Fu Kenny. Of course he will. My first thought is he gonna be bold enough to do They're Not Like Us in Toronto? And that's oh God, that is pretty much pulling your pants down and taking a huge steaming shit on somebody. Like, yeah.
In your lawn, in your house, actually, it's in your house.
Thank you. That's what I said. This is the ultimate fuck your couch moment.
Yeah, yeah, there you go. Shine it on your couch.
Fuck
Yeah,
your
so
couch.
turn it up. Like, what we do? But see, I don't know. Maybe something good. Drake is already in crash out mode, so he's got to live with the rest of this year. He got to live with the Super Bowl, and
And now you got extended the summer.
another album coming, so you got to live with that. Then you got to live with him coming to Yo City with SZA.
I mean, the good news is Drake will be on tour for Super Bowl Sunday. BBL Drizzy will not be watching the Super
We
Bowl.
all know why he's doing tour because he don't want turn his TV on. Kendrick boy. We know why
But
he tried to steal life with it, but I'm sorry, like there's nothing bigger than the Super Bowl on the planet outside of the World Cup. So
I
I
mean,
don't know why.
okay, but no, I don't. I don't. Toronto ain't. And see, and this is why the Drake Kendrick thing. I get it; it's getting dated at this point, but this is why it's been so relevant and significant because to me, it just pulls back a lot of layers and levels of a lot of things. Look, hip hop culture hip hop itself and hip hop culture sprang from the ghetto, and the ghetto has some very interesting rules and set of circumstances. And honestly, if we're gonna have a real conversation, a lot of this shit is bullshit. A lot of it is why a lot of people are behind bars currently, so on and so forth. But this is where it gets pulled back and shown very clearly, Drake, you ain't that dude. You not like that. And everything, a lot, so much of what Kendrick has said has been prophetic. I like Drake with the melodies. I don't like Drake when he act tough.
Some people.
And if you wasn't around running around here acting tough, this wouldn't have went the way it went. Because timing couldn't be worse, but we can't sit here in reality and say he doesn't have a point with this lawsuit. Like, dog, if I'm worth 5 million, if y'all giving me 5 million, how much you making off me? Given the body of work he has, it's no small feat to have the most number one hits ever. And you beat Michael Jackson for it. That's no small feat
Yeah,
musically.
but see, this is where the hypocrisy comes in. Because Kanye called it. It's funny how the crazy guy always seems to look right at the end. But Kanye said it. You have a rich baby daddy, Drake. Who is he? Lucian, the guy you're trying to sue, CEO of UMG. Yeah, Lucian, all the stuff you're accusing Kendrick of, forget the defamation part, because that's the weakest shit out of all of it. Like it's a rap battle. And you go to rap battles. We've seen Drake at rap battles. He's a rap battle fan. So he knows the rules of engagement, of rap battle. So the fact that you suing over defamation over a diss track after you said you're unbothered, and then we fed you the information, so you fed him the information used against you, and now you're crying defamation. That's why I said all them cases are gonna get thrown the fuck out. I'm surprised they're not laughing at him now. But either way, um, defamation aside, if he's claiming the bots and they're boosting streams and doing some illegal shit, what you think they was doing for you, Drake? Because last time I checked, when you released God's Plan or whatever on Spotify, I don't even listen to you at that time. I was seeing you against my will. I know they was boosting some shit. I know they was. The fact that Spotify got sued because of that shit, because of you were everywhere, even though no one listened or those group of people didn't listen to you. So you pretty much dry snitching on yourself because it's like it's cool when it works for you, when the system and the machine is for you. But the second that it might work for him, even though I'm sorry, there's kids and grandma singing now, they not like us. So I don't think that's bots, but that's just me. Even if he did boost it, you still got your ass whooped. Like the boost or not, you still got your ass whooped. That doesn't matter. Like, bro, you a fucking hypocrite. This is where it makes me
He's
more mad. He's not a martyr. Stop listening to Mario and all the cocksuckers. But yeah, Nah, when the system was working for him, he was cool. When they was doing all this shit, when he was battling me with back to back was everywhere and almost won a Grammy, he was good. He didn't say, "Oh, I did too much. I went too far." Is that the girls tour or your is that your tour, your girls tour? Hey, it was cool where everybody was shitting on me, and you pretty much kind of ended his career. Like the second you underestimate this dude, and he whooped your ass. Now you want to say, oh, foul play and oh, he took it too far. Even though you didn't learn from Pusha T to leave people's family out of the battle. Because once you do that, you open Pandora's box. We might not have got a not like us if you didn't drop his fucking family in Family Matters. We might not have got. He
True.
even warned you. He said, "Don't go there. I can even predict your angle." Never keeps
Brother
family
Say,
stories on the family front because you heard Mr. Morale, and then he said, "Bro, we ain't gotta get personal. Let's keep it a friendly fade." Like, and you didn't do it. You dropped that weak ass red button. And then he dropped two. He dropped back to back nukes on your ass. Hiroshima and Washington. Like, damn. But nah, it's shout out to Japan. Sorry. But yeah, it's crazy. This weekend,
here's
you're going to lose because there's too much evidence. Like, dog, you you telling on yourself. You are probably the more industry plant than any other fucking MC on this planet. What is that? Make good music though. You used to.
I mean, here's oh gosh, again, you got me on this weird side. It's a very true thing though. Like just tossing out numbers in a cursory fashion because I haven't done a deep dive on this. Look, if the label says, "Hey, here's 400 million," right? 400 million is nothing to sneeze at. Most humans would be happy with a fraction of that, right? But for the sake of this conversation, at some point, somebody with a little bit of sense is going to say, "Hey, hold on a second, dog. If you got 400 million to give me, how much did you make off my shit?" Like, hold up, B. Like, no. If you can offer me 400 mil, that means you made and holding a whole hell of a lot more than that. Run the jewels, homie.
Okay.
You owe me some change. 400, that's cute.
And go
Same.
independent. And go independent. What are you suing? You're suing over the song and the battle. I guarantee you, if he would have won, he would not be suing.
That's a good point.
So that's what I'm saying. And you could have sued way before this, even before the battle. If it was
Good
about
point.
credit and you want to be pro people and free the slaves, you would have did this a long time ago. Because they gave you for about $500 million before the other contract, and now it's up, and you probably want damn near close to $1 billion. And now that you got your ass whooped and your brand is taking a huge hit because of it, they don't have to pay you as much anymore. Your value went down.
Mm.
I'm sorry, like it did. I'm not saying your career is over now because of the lawsuit, but before that, you could have recovered. If you would have just shut the fuck up, disappeared, and then come back later, you would have been fine. I I promise you, you'd have been fine. Because it happened with Pusha T. Shut the fuck up, disappear. Well, actually, he didn't. But he didn't get his ass whooped as badly as this. So it kind of, but yeah, it's just, dude, all you had to do was just shut up, disappear, take a vacation, let them miss you, come back. Everything would have went somewhat back to normal. Yeah, it would have been over your head that Kendrick is number one now, sure, but you still would have been Drake, and people would still listen to you and still somewhat respect you because hey, you put the gloves on, you lost. It's okay. It happens. There's respect in that. But now there is zero fucking respect. No
No.
one in the hip, even the casual, don't even respect your ass. The only people you have left are the knee padders. That's it. That's all you have left. And even they are starting to sway. Yeah, I don't. If he somehow recovers from all this, that would be the greatest comeback of all time.
I
But
mean, he.
for
I don't. I don't know how he does it, but he's got to win because on paper, if he wins, every artist wins.
No, they don't.
If you crack the system, if you get rid of Agent Smith and break the matrix,
Mhm.
everyone wins. The problem is it ain't looking real good, Chief.
The problem is, bro, he's not suing over his contract. He's suing over the diss track. So imagine this, he wins. So now there will never be a rap battle again, ever. Because now you unlock the precedent that if you say something too crazy, I can sue you. That's not
Well,
hip hop.
it's not. And
That's
and
whack as shit. Like, and you said some damning defamation shit, and Whitney's not suing you. You at least say I got beat on and now cheated on my husband, and his kid ain't even his. If that's not defamation, I don't know what the f is. And you know what she did? She let her husband or her whatever or fiance rap you to death, and then was fucking crib walking on your grave in the video. That was her response. She more gangster than you, my nigga. But I digress. But she from Compton, so I kind of know that. This is where demographics play a part. She from Compton, she from the suburbs of Toronto. Get the fuck out of here.
demographics matter. Shout out to Joe, JPP, and the boys.
Yeah,
Demographics matter.
it's
Because
certain stuff, it matters.
it just, jeez. Um, so our interesting great debaters piece. We might be slightly imposed on this one. I'm curious to see. The first track that grabbed my attention off Kendrick's new album was GNX, GNR, and and he mentioned the bar in there. Don't let no white comedian say nothing about no black woman. That's law. And yeah, initially initially it might have been a thought that it might have been talking about Gary Owen, but pretty much no, it's a shot, direct shot across the bow at Andrew Schulz. Andrew Schulz. Now, I will say first off, I'm not familiar with the dude's work. Never heard this dude until literally about 48 hours ago. But I saw when he quote unquote responded to Kendrick and just let this sit for a second. So you have a rap telling a comedian to not say anything about black women. Ooh, ooh. It might be right message, wrong messenger, but the message is there. Um, Long before Snoop was a media darling and hanging out with Martha Stewart, it was bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks. NWA, as much as they're well known for Fuck the Police, Strata Compton, there's a lot of, and I just recently found out MC Ren is a borderline pedophile, had a kid by a 16-year-old. So I get Andrew's point. Like the nerve of a rapper saying a comedian shouldn't say anything about black women. A rapper. This entire thing to certain as in certain aspects has been built on the disrespect of black women. It continues even to this day. I don't know. I don't see I get Kendrick's point, obviously. But does a rapper really have a leg to stand on here? When I can go up and down this music, dating back to the 80s? I mean, shit. Run DMC. I met this little girlie. Her hair was kind of curly. I went to her house and busted her out. I had to leave there early. That's Run DMC's Tricky from like what, 86? Come on. Right message. Maybe it's wrong messenger, but I don't. The irony. A rapper telling a comedian, don't let no comedian say nothing about no black woman, that's law. Is it? Really? But where are you sitting in this argument, sir?
It's irrelevant what he said. Because one, he's not saying nothing new, because this has been said since probably the fucking 80s and 90s. So he's not saying nothing new. at all. It's not a revelation. That wasn't even a smart comment because then you followed it up with, something that was ultra racist, you know, with the pretty much I can force myself or because he can't do nothing about it, And that goes back to slave times. You all know what that was called. So it's like, yeah, if he would have left it at just saying that part and then add in the other, I wouldn't have a problem with it. He wouldn't have said nothing new. We've all been saying it and acknowledging it. Like hip hop has a real bad way of disrespecting his women, well, just disrespecting general, us, just disrespecting our people on both sides, and we
Mhm.
still do it on both sides. I don't know why, but we do. But that's common knowledge at this point. See, now you're just beating a dead horse. You didn't say nothing new, and then you added that last part to it, so it kind of makes everything you said irrelevant. It's like, how dare you say I can't talk about black women? Blah, blah, I can do what I want, and then you add that part. He didn't add that last part. I wouldn't have had a huge problem with it. But Kendrick's the wrong artist to say that to, though.
Yeah.
Because I'm not his earlier stuff, he does have some, you know. But his latest stuff, I mean, outside of Black Thought and probably Royce, they don't get no more blackety black than that.
Really don't.
And he got a
Really
whole
don't.
bunch of sisters in his video. Like he does a lot of trying to actually show respect.
Show me something real like some asses with some stretch marks.
And
Yeah.
but he's not the artist that you really say that to. That's where the other irony is. Because it's not another rapper saying this. This is Kendrick telling you this, which means he already, like I said, maybe in the past, no, somewhere. But future, more involved, more mature Kendrick, like I said, you don't get more blackety black than him.
Really don't. And
So
he been on
if
that for a
anyone,
minute
if
too.
any rapper could say it, outside of a few names, maybe I just named, maybe not Royce because he said some crazy stuff back in the day. But Black Thought, Kendrick, I guess maybe Cole. Well, I don't know. But
Mm,
I know you want to sing that song. I know. That's what I said. Maybe not. But Kendrick definitely and Black Dog definitely. They show ultimate respect to our culture and especially our women. Now,
Talib Kweli.
yeah, him too. That's what I'm saying. Like he's that irony is, yeah, does the rest of my colleagues still do the dumb shit? Yes. That's not me. So I'm talking about me. And I'm the head of this shit right now. And I'm saying, chill out. And your response is the typical white response. Oh, y'all kill each other. Like, oh, black on black crime. Oh, you call y'all women hoes and bitches, and they call you niggas, and then okay. So why'd you have to add that last part about a sexually assaulting a man? What
Yeah,
was that
butt
for?
breaking is not
That
cool.
was mad unnecessary. You could have left it at the first part. That'd have been online with everyone else fucking said.
I think you're telling on yourself.
Pretty much. That's why I'm like, everything you said, one, it wasn't breaking news because we already know this. Two, it gets erased because you said the most racist, weirdest shit after it. So now it's like, well, fuck it. Now I know you didn't mean that shit. You just mad because someone called you out on your shit.
Right.
Because you want to be able to talk greasy, especially with that bitch ass, especially with the other brother that's sitting there and saying nothing and just laughing, shaking his head. Yeah, but yeah,
Tokenism, there gotta be one.
there's always one. It be your own people. Ironically enough, talking about this time, we be your own people. But yeah, nah, like is what he said is irrelevant because that last part, and also the artist that called you out is not the one that applies to. Maybe in the past, yes, but now, no.
Not for a minute. Like, not for a good minute.
What I'm saying,
But
that's why I'm like, yeah, you have a point that's been made since the 80s and 90s, and that every white person makes and still makes. We
mhm.
get reminded of it all the time. Trust me, I know. Even by our own people, we get reminded, it's like, why are we still doing this stuff? I agree. But
Mm.
hey, maybe K-Dot, since he's getting bigger than he probably ever was, maybe the culture really is changing. The party just died. For real. I don't know. If not, whatever. But yeah, he was right. Don't speak on it, especially with that last part you said. You definitely shouldn't be speaking because now I know what you about. You told on yourself. But go ahead. I've been yapping.
No, I don't. Just get it off, get it off. But it reminded it brought back shades of brought back shades of Don Imus. Those who don't remember Don Imus, he was the shock jock that talked about Rutgers basketball players being nappy-headed hoes, and he got roasted, rightfully so. But his comeback, well, y'all do it to each other, and you can't shoot back at that because it's true.
Because just the black on black shit. Dog.
Because I mean, I can't use the this is it actually is somewhat akin to the N word. Because the thing is, when I say it, it's
Can't say
about
one
home, it's
word.
some endearment. But when you say it, it's some racist
You
shit.
can't say one
No
word.
one can say it at all.
You can't say, oh yeah, that's true, but it is what it is. You can't say one word. You foaming at the mouth to say one word, and there's what millions of words in our English dictionary. You can't say one word. It's that
But
hard.
Donald Glover voice. This is America.
That's
Right.
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like you complain about one word. One word. You don't have to say it. Yeah, neither do we, but we do. So what? Y'all have everything else. You can't say one word. I
No.
say, hey, all right, we'll give you the pass. You give us everything else you got. Will you give up your privilege? Your majority? I don't think you would. So just
I mean, they get the
one
majority
word.
whether they
You
want
gotta
to or
say
not.
one word. I don't want to hear that dumbass shit. Stop it. I just want everything.
Well, yeah.
I know.
Pretty much.
Well, you can say the
Pretty much.
words. I hope you got hands. That's what I see. I
Sure
hope you
indeed.
got hands.
So, all right, and finally, we're gonna wrap this up and get to it. Oh my gosh, I was mad at you, boy. I was mad at you. So I finally going to see Gladiator 2.
Manage yourself. Good.
Don't be no. I went off you. You said it was 4 scoops, sir. You said it was four
Yeah,
scoops.
it was a good movie. Wasn't great. It was good.
Good movies don't get 4 scoops. Good movies get like 3 and a quarter, maybe 3.5. Good movies get, good
Very
movies.
good. I'm sorry. Very good. Good. Like I'm sorry. Four, three and three quarters. Had a malfunction right there. Three and three quarters. Yeah, that's still good. Like four and a quarter and up is like the very good and
Okay. So,
classic.
all right. So, would you like to explain the reason for your review, or should I dive in first? I'll let you go. What you want to do?
All right, I'll start because you about to just start yapping. Um, what reason is it for? Now, if you go in, this is how why I rated why I rated. I told him before I saw it, and even after I saw it, do not go into it thinking of the first one. Do not compare it to the first one. It is a sequel. It will never live up to the first one, or it will be extremely hard to do that. That sequel of a classic all-time movie is the same or even better. That has rarely happened. The Godfather is probably the best one that ever happened, where you can make a debate that the second one was better than the first. It's usually not the case. So with that said, I graded on a scale of just an individual movie, not comparing it to the first one. Because if you do that, if I compare it to the first one, this would be a fucking 3.2 and a half, three and a quarter, or three and a half. Because I'm not, because I have an open freaking mind and know it's not the first one, and not even going to clamor in the mouth that it's the first one. I said, all right, came with open minds. Looks like I was entertained. It was a good movie. Some good. I mean, the main actor did his thing. Denzel did his thing. I mean, story wasn't horrible. It made sense somewhat. Actually, no, it made sense. So, I mean, fight scenes weren't bad. I'm not mad. It was a good movie. Is this something I'm gonna go on my way to watch? No. Like if Gladiator's on, I'll watch that one. But that's a classic. That's a five. I'm not. It's not. I knew it wasn't going to be a five. This movie came out what 25 years later. What do you expect? So yeah, I gave it a four. All right, or if you want to say lowest, 3.25, if it makes you feel any better. But I just think it was a good movie. That's it. But go ahead, you can give your explanation why it's
Okay, here we go. Here we go. Let's get some review. Let's get some movie review going. Okay, let's start from the top. One, this is a 3.25. Solid 3.25, and 3.25 might be generous. Um, you cannot go into this and not at least keep the first Gladiator in the back of your mind because they make references to it. There's problem point A. The number one issue with this movie, is the same issue with Godfather 2. Let me explain. Godfather 1 was a complete movie, start to finish, top to bottom. It was its own thing. We did not need a sequel. So when Godfather 2 comes, you got to ask yourself, why do we need this? And Godfather 2 is so masterful. They gave us two movies at once and explained why we needed it. And by the end of Godfather 2, you're like, holy shit. And it is possibly, arguably, the greatest sequel ever made. There's that.
it.
Um,
Uh,
Also, sequels better than the original. Godfather 2, Dark Knight, Terminator 2, Matrix Reloaded. There's
uh,
four.
Batman doesn't matter because Batman first one won the classic. But go ahead.
Bro, Batman Begins was the
Okay.
best origin Batman we've ever gotten.
Won the classic. Because
It
when you
was
think
that.
of two movies from the Dark Knight trilogy, which ones do you say? The last two. You say Dark
That's
Knight, Dark Knight Rises. No one mentions Batman. I even forget that shit existed.
bro. So Batman Begins, the 1989 reboot of Batman with Michael Keaton, and the Batman we just got with Pattinson. Batman Begins is better than all three of them. Batman Begins is the best of the three.
Wait, Batman Begins is better than the Batman?
Yes.
What?
The Batman is dumb long. It is true to the whole detective, world's greatest detective thing. But let's be real, dog. You could have told me this story in under 2.5 hours.
That
You could.
movie, the Batman clears every Batman movie outside of Dark Knight and probably Dark Knight Rises.
So you'll take the Batman over Batman Begins.
Yes.
Lord, we got another debate. But anywho, all I was saying was I gave you four instances where the sequel was better than the original. There's that. Okay. But the thing is this Gladiator was 2000. You had 24 years. 24 years, B. And the question that stands, same with Godfather, because Gladiator was such a complete start to finish movie. Why do I need a sequel? Help me understand why I need a sequel.
I
So
know.
we're going to start there. Gladiator 2 did not justify its own existence. The first question is, do I need a sequel? Why do I need a sequel? And it did not justify its existence. That's one.
Watch the Joker.
Um, the obvious plot hole, like make it make sense. Are we doing a new movie? Is there any connection to the first? No, there's absolutely connection to the first. And the big reveal in the end is like, oh, okay. That was meh. The fight scenes were meh. Mid compared to the first. Um, Maximus is a leader, clearly a general and a leader. This guy does not give me Maximus leader feels at all. There's that. The villains. So how do you have two villains and both of them combined do not equal Joaquin Phoenix in the first letter?
He wasn't the
Like
villain. I mean, they were bad, but the real villain was Denzel. That was the point.
then there's that piece, and then
Spoiler.
there's that piece. So Denzel is being Denzel, being a villain. Plot split. Spoiler: Denzel's a villain here for anyone who doesn't know, and his role or his mission is still not fully fleshed out. Doesn't completely make sense. Um, and then here's the other thing. And again, I admit this might be me being a cynic or a prisoner of the moment. So the quote unquote hero of the movie wants to restore Rome to what it once was. So there's two bad guys here that run Rome, and they're pretty much just damn near a hair short of Caligula, if you know what Caligula is, and a whole bunch of madness that going on in the Roman Empire. And no. Our hero wants to restore Rome to its prior greatness, make Rome great again. So
Yeah, give it more
extrapolate that to
in the senators, make it more democratic type thing.
right. So you're essentially the Democrats in Kamala. You want the system to continue to be the system. Your objective is not to break it. You just want it to run like it used to before the mad people who are running it down. You're the Democrats. Great. Awesome. So you're pretty much Kamala Harris as a guy. All righty. Great. Why are we here? Why are we here? Like what? Again, could be a prisoner in a moment, but I'm watching this like so your overall mission and goal is the greatness of the Roman Empire, not hey, this is a murderous regime that is pretty much in infection that is spread all over. It needs to be curbed. No, that's not the plot. It's let's restore Roman greatness and get rid of the barbarism.
Too.
Hey, let's keep America America and just get rid of MAGA.
That's not what these that was not the book. You know what? I can't even get mad because your movie interpretation skills are horrible.
Oh,
Because
God, oh, stop.
yes, they are. Because I forgot to tell you because I already knew the answer to it because I've seen and watched the joke multiple times and I already know how to imply stuff. And it was already implied in the first movie that the girl was not really his girl. That was all in his head. And guess what? Spoiler alert. If you watch the second one, which I'm surprised you haven't, it
Yo,
pretty much confirmed everything that I said and that the first movie was trying to imply. I didn't think it would
bro.
be more obvious, and somehow you still spun it to be like, no, that was real. I couldn't tell if it wasn't.
Well, bro, the problem is not just you, but other people I trust with movie reviews have said it sucked. Like it wasn't just a bad movie, it sucked. So that's I'm like, oh, I can't.
What? What movie? Gladiator?
Joker too.
Yeah,
Like,
I said that.
like,
I'm not disagreeing with that part.
like,
Talking about your interpretation skills. That's what we talking about. We're not talking about the Raid Joker 2. Raid Joker 2 is a one on a good day. When it's not cold outside. If it was cold outside, it might be a zero. So yeah, no. I agree with them. Yes, Joker 2 was a waste of time. I wanted to walk out the theater and fell asleep. So yeah.
I, I mean, I'm going to see. Well, we're going to me and my movie folks. We're going to see Craven
Oh,
next week. I think it's going to be really good. I got really, really good on board. And The Substance is on Prime, so we got to watch that. The Substance is on Prime.
yeah.
Good. From my trusted movie people, I'm hearing The Substance is really good. Body horror. So I'm like, okay, cool. I didn't get a chance to check out Smile 2 though. That's one I did miss. But looking forward to checking out The Substance. But yeah, Gladiator 2, like the fundamental question of why do we need this movie? Start from there. You never showed me, oh, why we need this movie. Godfather 2, it showed me about 20 minutes in. Oh, this is why we need this movie. You're literally weaving a beginning, a present, and past tale next to one another. Okay, cool. I get why Godfather 2 exists. Trying to think, was there another case where we had one? I don't, let's see, I haven't seen it. I don't remember how Alien ended, but Aliens, yeah, it made sense. It made sense. We need aliens. We could have technically we could have left the Matrix as is, but Matrix Reloaded definitely justified its existence. Beyond shadow doubt. You didn't walk away from Matrix Reloaded like, what was that for? No, Matrix Reloaded definitely justified its existence. Gladiator 2 just simply never justified why it exists. And then there's confusion. Again, for me, Denzel's ideal world was not, it was confusing. And even the hero, like, so you just want Rome to keep being Rome. So you're Kamala Harris. Okay, cool. Got it. Got it.
Well,
We'll continue to murder and pillage. That's fine. We just can't have it in house. That's the problem. You can't be, murder and pillaging in the house. But we'll continue conquering everybody else. It's cool.
yes, that's the beauty of art. Everyone has their own interpretation of it. You have a funny way of looking at it, but it still is your way of looking at it.
If this movie
Stuff
came
that
out
you're
6 months
clearly
ago,
wrong
I
about.
probably wouldn't see it that way.
Huh?
If this movie came out 6 months ago, I probably wouldn't see it that way. But the timing and the election, and it's like, really?
Mr. You might need to audition for Mr. Fantastic, my guy. That reach you just did is that is the most woke shit I ever heard. I was like,
Yeah.
nah, so that's what that feels like. I know what they talking about. Nah, but yeah. My only concern was I agree with you on the point that what this didn't have to come out. We could have just left it as it is. It was a classic from start to finish. I agree. And I was like, all right, I'll give it a shot. If I gave Joker 2 a shot, I'm damn sure we'll give Gladiator 2 a shot. And
Oh
I'm
yeah.
glad it did because it was good and entertaining enough for me. I understand and it made sense. Is it as good as the first one? Hell no. Is it a bad movie? No. It's a good movie. It did it enough justice that it wasn't complete shite like Joker 2. Joker 2 just ruined damn near the whole first movie for me.
And it's tanked badly. That tanked, Borderlands tanked. I'm like, wow, I didn't.
I knew that was one thing. I mean, look at the cast. Like that,
Wait, whoa, whoa, whoa! You got Jack Black, you got Kev Hart, you got folks
you
in the
got the
movie.
same group of guys that get every comedic job and is getting tired. Like even with The Rock, like he ain't even pulling the numbers he used to. Like there, somebody said, I don't know if it's you or I just seen art. There's not a whole lot of Hollywood like movie stars anymore. Like
No,
they're
it wasn't me.
starting to die out. Because once Denzel is gone and certain people are gone, like Denzel, um, this much. Once they're gone, like who's really a movie like that you go see the movie just because of them, not because of what the movie is, but you see that name, it's gonna draw in hits. The Rock used to have that, he doesn't have that anymore. Denzel still has it, but he's about to retire. So it's like
Don,
who's the next generation movie star?
and you talking about? Oh, okay, you talking movie stars, not movie makers. Donald K. Sterling. Um, Donald K. Sterling is good. I'm trying to think.
I don't even
The
know
guy that was, I see. I don't remember his name, but he was. I just saw him in. I want to say Heartbreak Ridge, but it was on Netflix. The brother with the light eyes, I honestly forgot his name, but he's good. He's good.
oh, good. I'm
Um,
just saying star power. It's like the NBA.
exactly.
The NBA has the same problem because like once LeBron, Curry, KD, Kawhi retires, they're still trying to find the next heir apparent. And
No,
then
we don't. We know who that is.
who?
It's Wemby. It's Ant. Like we know. We got that
They're
straight.
trying to push, but they don't put the numbers that look like I'm saying this to you. We know they're trying to push them now somewhat, but they're not the big three or big four if you want to put Kawhi. But they're not the big
Luca.
three. Because when they play, viewership is up.
Luca.
LeBron doesn't play. If Curry, Steph, and LeBron are not in the playoffs, then you will see the numbers that matters.
Luca.
So he's not one. A lot of people hate him, and he's international. Like I'm sorry, that plays a part into it because there's a lot of international like Jokic, Giannis. There's a lot of superstars now, but people aren't drawn to them. They're not marketable. That's my thing. They need, unfortunately, I don't know what because it's how America works. American superstars that are marketable. And outside of Ant, you don't have one.
Um.
Tatum's too
Well,
quiet.
the problem is when you do, he's just too busy holding guns. That would be Ja.
Yeah, but his image is like he's like the worst part of AI in a bad way. It's like at least AI that was actually him. He wasn't doing that stupid shit. But him being part of the culture was actually him not trying to act like that's him. So yeah, so all you got is Ant.
Oh, duh, Dookie, Jason Tatum.
I just said Jason Tatum's not Marvel. Dude just won a title and everyone acknowledges that he might not be the best player on his team. And he
Jason
probably got
Nike
disrespected in the Olympics. So it's like, yeah,
Nike just released his own signature shoe. Nike doesn't
not
do that for long.
marketable as the face of the league, though. He's not. He ain't got the personality or really the game that says I'm the alpha or number one. He's a great player. He's top five. But in terms of marketability, it's not only just your game and all obviously where you come from somewhat, but are you marketable as a personality? Jason Tatum ain't marketable. He's a chill, pretty mellow dude and just stays quiet out the way. Same with D Book. Great game, but they stay
Well,
out.
I mean, I'm sure they love to market Melo or I forgot which ball boy is not hurt, but they would have been a great marketing ploy.
He ain't got no media training. I mean, he could be. He ain't got no media training, which could scare him. And then also, he gets hurt a lot.
That's the problem. Like, I hope Lonzo comes back, but the Melo boys would have been, the ball boys would have been a dope marketing thing. But we are where we are, salary with injuries.
So yeah, they gonna have to find it or hope that the American people can accept that the best players in the league are not from here.
I mean, they've been doing so now. Like I said, Luca is as someone who lives here. Luca is amazing to watch.
Oh, he's fun to watch, but then he's also not fun to watch. And I'm a Luca fan, so
You know, and it just it's and like you said, unfortunately, Jokic, it's like boxing. You if you know boxing, you can watch anybody box and really appreciate what's going on. But casuals like that is boring. It's sadly it's the same thing with Jokic. Like, okay, 25, 12, and 10. Meh. It's the most boring triple W you've ever seen. But those who know basketball understand how amazing what we're watching is.
I don't get that though. See, that's the thing. You always be throwing some flashy passes. That's why I'm like, I don't see where the boring part. Maybe when he scores is boring, but when he's passing the ball, there ain't nothing more. Like I can watch. And I have like an 8 minute compilation of him just passing and be entertained. It's like magic. Like magic, you watch him for his passes. Like you look at his highlight tape, it's mostly him on the fast break. Hee hee. Like no look. Like this,
that
this, this
would never not be funny.
that be will get forever. Oh, that mean magic. See, go point guard.
The magic stories are hilarious. The
He
magic stories are hilarious. The Teague, the Teague stories are hilarious as well, just because of how he tells the story, yo.
he's got like a real average person in the NBA telling a story. Like he don't like just say, "Oh yeah, I was doing all this." He be like, "Man, I was trash. This dude dumped on me, man." I said, "Coach, I didn't want to play no more. Yeah, just you go over there. Why am I getting the ball? Fuck it, I'll shoot it. Oh, it went in. Thank
Yo,
God."
he is busting everybody's ass.
That's what makes him great because he just seems like the most normal person that happened to be in the NBA. Everybody else tells stories. They want to tell tales like they was in freaking. I don't
and,
know. Like
I, and I do think overall, the podcast space that we share in, I'd rather hear the stories from the people that lived it. I'd rather no not because Stephen A. Smith and them cats have had Skip Bayless. They had their own spot, of course. But there's a reason we tune into Shannon. There's a reason we pay attention to a lot of these football shows and basketball shows are made up of ex-pros now.
for
Yeah,
current.
Randy Moss and so on and so forth. Like, I I want to hear from Randy Moss. I don't necessarily want to hear from Stephen A. And that's no not to Stephen A. But Randy Moss gives your show credibility. Seeing Chuck and Shaq go at it is one of the funniest things ever because you got somebody with 4 rings, you got somebody with no rings. So, and Shaq will not let you forget that. So it's like, yeah. But yeah, I hear you. It just, I think Wemby's going to, because the thing that no one wants to say out loud, so I'll say it out loud, is we're missing, the NBA seems to be missing athleticism. We love athleticism in the NBA. Ant will dunk on your whole life. So will Tatum, quite honestly. And Wemby, like just for comparison, again, age difference. Wemby's what, 7'4", 7'3", something like that. So you look at Wemby and then you rewind time to the Utah Jazz teams of the 80s and 90s. You look at Mark Eaton, yeah, huge day and day and night difference. But I think, when LeBron hangs it up, Steph hangs it up, because I think collectively, LeBron's probably got 2 years left. Steph might have 3 to 5. When that's when that's over, I think there's a crop. There's Tatum's already here, Brown's already here, Wemby's already here, Ant is already here. I'm trying to think. As long as he stays healthy, Zion is that dude.
I mean, he's not in the conversation no more. No, I'm sorry.
We will not have Duke slander here, sir.
Yes,
We
we
will not
will.
have Duke slander
Yes, we will.
here.
When it's necessary, we definitely will. We do not show, well, I do not show bias over here. Maybe you do. Well, you do, but I don't. So yeah, nah. You've been hurt, and doing this Charles Barkley impression. You know,
I
Kevin
mean,
Charles
I
did.
can give you a good 5, 10 minutes worth of Zion highlights since he's been in the league. So
What has that done? He has yet to play in the postseason. He has yet to play. I think he only played more than 60 games one time. That's not good. You were supposed to be the chosen one, Anakin. Star Wars, right? Yeah, he was the
okay.
chosen. He was supposed to be the heir apparent before Wemby, after LeBron. Now what?
It- Let him get healthy, he'll be fine. Let him get healthy, he'll be fine.
Even when he was playing healthy, he did not look great this season. But like I said, if he can't manage his weight, he's not going to last.
Okay. But yeah. Let's run it back and recap this thing. Start from the top. It was a hit. The question is who was behind it. Um, in the world's greatest city, my goodness, right in broad daylight, like Nino voice, excuse me, G Money voice, in broad daylight. Um, Biden pardoning his son. Jeez. Yeah, I'd pardon you. So is it a crappy thing to do? Sure, unless you're my son. Sorry, that's membership has its privileges. Sorry. Um, China and their banning of certain exports. Yeah, dog. It's just stop. Stop. China is the living embodiment of, oh, you don't know who you're talking to, huh? You don't know who you're talking to. Actually, China's going to be the living embodiment. Who the fuck you think you're talking to? But yeah, y'all might want to chill the nonsense. Kendrick having a tour stop in Toronto, the ultimate fuck your couch. Just the ultimate fuck your couch, nigga. Just, poor BBL Drizzy, yo. This is just the worst 2 years was gonna be coming up on it for a year because it started what Aprilish this year.
Mhm.
So yeah, we're looking at a good year, and if this keeps going, a year and a half. Uh, and I hope he win the lawsuit because it could change the scope of everything with the industry. But the way it's looking, Chief, nah, B, not gonna happen. Um, does Andrew Schultz have a point? Right message, wrong messenger. That's the best I got. Right message, but absolute on messenger, especially when you listen to everything in its entirety. On the surface, a rapper telling comedians how to talk bad about black women, bro. How's that mirror? How's that mirror doing? Might want to dust that off. But in full context, right message, absolute wrong messenger. Absolute wrong messenger. Gladiator 2, it should have never got made. If you're gonna do it, you had 24 years, and this is what you gave us. And step one was, like I said, justify its existence, make it make sense. It didn't. It's Kamala trying to return Rome to Rome. Your recap, sir.
Mafioso mob is back.
You got the lights on in your car.
Protect your wallet, your life, CEOs. They coming. Biden, would I have done it to my son? Hell no. He did the stuff that he did. But he did some other stuff, some, a lot less than that. Yeah. But for the stuff that he did, hell, you ain't standing there. China, he gonna learn to stop messing with China. I thought he learned over the COVID stuff, but he didn't. He will not win that war. They don't even have to fire a shot. That's the funny thing. Like, all right, cool. They pay me everything you owe me then, Santa. Oh, you can't. Oh, all right, shut your ass up. All right, yeah. Um, K. Dot crash out Kenny in Toronto. Took a great old elephant-sized poop on your couch, boy. That's tough. This is the worst year of his life. He might need therapy. Um, Andrew Schwartz. So however you say his name, that guy, Miracle Whip guy. Hmm, not even the right message because he's saying the message has been sent for many times. So just beating a dead horse. So and you send it to the wrong person because full context. Kendrick's not the one doing that. So you kind of that comes null and void. And then what you add at the end of it just makes it even worse. So yeah, we don't care what you had to say. Sorry. And then, well, I'm not sorry. I lied. But yeah, in Gladiator 2, was it necessary? Not really. But we got it. And was it bad? No, it wasn't bad. It was a good one. If you see it from a non-biased eyes, stop comparing it to the first one. Because we all know it's not. Like, well, maybe not all. Bless them. But yes, we know that it's not the first one. It's not going to be. It's hard to surpass something like that. It's rarely been done. Probably count on one hand many times it's been done. So yeah, it didn't do a Joker too, which is what I was scared of. Because if I went back to back to the movie theater or something like that, we gonna have issues. Every CEO might be on alert then. But yeah, that's it.
Well, we waited a couple days. Life happened. We got good material. We appreciate you all hanging in there with us. On behalf of myself, my amazing co-host, and the Yeah, I Said It podcast. Peace.
Now